One of our Turnicorn fans sent me a direct message and it said, hey, we watched your crew guys practice at pit stops and we were wondering, do you guys have a gym at work or how do you guys, how do your guys stay in shape? And obviously, I have my own way of staying in shape, but the other guys kind of do their own thing at their own gyms on their own pace. But we thought it would be cool to have a little competition today, so that's what we did. It was supposed to be just whoever could do the most push-ups in a minute. Maybe we'll change it up a little bit and go to push-ups and pull-ups, but I actually like the idea of sit-ups. We'll see. So as a little carrot to incentivize the guys to give it their utmost performance, we got $100 going to the winner of the push-up contest. I don't even know what a bench press is. Once again, Brew has been doing his little meticulous work around the Turnicorn, which seems like it's been taking forever. I'm used to building race cars and doing stuff on race cars. It's different than what we're doing for the Turnicorn, and I have to keep remembering that this has to be the ultimate street car, and that everything has to work, and that it has to have air conditioning. It has to be maintenance friendly and stuff like that. So I get it, but Brew, come on, let's get this thing going.
Now we're starting to see things coming together, and yeah, for me to say that, it's definitely, I can see that happening now. Speaking with Brew and the things he's asking me to get done for him by lining up these conversations and talking to these people mean that we're seeing some real progress here. We are using the E90 M3 electric fan because it is a massively powerful unit and it's going to provide what we think is enough airflow, especially in like stop and go traffic with the air conditioning running, because we want this car to function, again, like a factory car. The fan, because it's massive and has a huge motor, it pulls a lot of current. It actually uses 100 amp in circuit. So the factory E46 wiring for the electric fan was not big enough. Basically, I had to remake the wiring there between the fan and junction point at the firewall to upgrade all the wire sizing for that. We used all factory connectors and components, so the end result, it looks like it came that way. Rob gets all the credit for this. The heater core plumbing was a huge challenge on this car. It's great to work with people who have an open mind, because a lot of times you can work with a fabricator who's very one direction, like this is my project, I'm gonna do it this way, and I'm not gonna seek other people's help. But Brew's very great about saying, like, you've done fabrication before, Kim's done fabrication before, there might be some things he doesn't have a clear answer on, so he'll go to other people and say, hey, what do you think about this? And we'll give our feedback and we'll assess. We had to get 3-inch or so diameter hoses through a space that's maybe 2 inches in diameter. He's looking at trying to figure out how he's going to put all those cool hoses through there. So my experience with other vehicles is in those types of situations I've seen where they just use metal pipes. It's far tighter. You can get a lot more material through that space. So he tried that and it seemed like it worked great. So it worked out really well. I removed the engine for the last time today. We were able to basically get all of the parts together that we're going to send out for ceramic coating. Mike Bentwood at United R&D, he does Cerakote finishing. He's going to be doing the headers with a ceramic coating, as well as all of the stainless and aluminum brackets and mounts that I made.
Taking a look at what Brew's accomplished. Once we send these parts out to get coated,
like, I want them back right away. So I put the pressure on Mike at United to get these things done quickly for me, because I just want them back, because I want to get this thing going, because we're close.
So yesterday at my shop, we used a abrasive media to sandblast all the components and prep all the surfaces for the ceramic-based paint that will go on all the components. It's very durable, and it looks great, and it should last a very long time.
How's it going? Why is it so dark in here?
Because the power's out.
You're joking.
Nope, just lost a leg of our 3-phase power, and Corey's on the phone right now with Eversource, and they don't know if they're gonna make it out here today.
What do we do?
We don't know.
So there was a little drama over the weekend. You know, I put this pressure on United to get these parts ready for me, and I get a call halfway through the weekend, and he says, Will, the power's out.
We've got the Turnicorn parts all racked and ready for a pre-bake cycle in our oven, and we've lost power.
I'm dead in the water here. I'm like, seriously? How can the power be out?
So this is the oven. Pretty small. And we just saw the Eversource guys drive through the parking lot, so hopefully they're here to get us back up and running so we can get these things done today. Eversource guys just left, so moment of truth. Nice.
Power apparently fixed itself or something. Let's go, let's get this party started.
These parts that are back here on the rack, those are gonna go into the oven at 300 degrees, and they're gonna bake for about 45 minutes. That will bake out any oils that are embedded in the part. They'll come out, we'll let them cool. We're gonna mix up all of our paint with its appropriate hardener, and then we're gonna use mini HVLP air guns to spray the Cerakote paint on all the parts. And then they go back into the oven for 1 hour at 300 degrees, and then they should be ready for delivery.
Mike just dropped off the parts. They look great. I know I seem overly excited about these parts, but this was like the thing that could have held us up.
When I saw Mike come in from United with all the Cerakote parts, that was definitely another, reassurance that this is things coming together now, because all the things that went out to vendors are finally coming back, and seeing those laid out on the tables, like, hey, this looks really great. It's everything that we asked for. You got it done when we asked to get it done.
They look fantastic. The finish on everything is flawless, and it's really, now I have the opportunity to really go for the finish line on this thing and start putting everything together, hopefully for the final time. One of the challenges with this motor is the size of the intake plenum. It puts it directly into the cabin air filter on this car, which is cowling right on the firewall on the back upward side of the firewall. The plenum ran directly into it, and basically means that we can't use any of the factory parts. It's a pretty challenging location. There's not a lot of room. We need to find a way to seal that area off, but still get clean air into the cabin. So basically I ended up fabricating an aluminum panel that houses 2 off-the-shelf cabin air filters that fits in that place. Given the space constraints, but the scope of this project, it's the best thing that we could have done.
Hey Rob.
What's up, bro?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think we're ready for some fluids for the Turnicorn.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be talking to Liquimoli today for a stock order. Maybe I'll talk to them about getting them involved with this project.
Cool. That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah.
So they have some input of what fluids they want, and would be a great addition to the team.
Sure. Sounds good.
Hey, Garrett, how are you?
Good, Rob. What's going on?
Not much. We were getting to the point in the build where we're looking at selecting fluids for the car. We wanted to reach out to Liquimoli to see if you guys would like to be involved with this build. You guys have definitely been a really great support with us in the racing team. I'd love to get you guys involved with this project.
Oh, absolutely. We're definitely on board. I've been actually watching the YouTube videos, and I'm just totally impressed with the build. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a great build. We're pretty confident in the engine oil selection. We'll be using the 1060, and then once we get the engine broken, we're going to move over to the Ceratec for a little extra protection in there. But the one question I did have was with the transmission fluid. I noticed that there were 2 different options available for that transmission, and wanted to know which one met the BMW specs.
Yeah, so I know that there are 2 there. Do you know which one you guys have?
We do have the ZF transmission.
The ZF. Okay. Actually, let me bring in Stefan's in Germany. I got him on a call here.
Which one? Is it the G-Track or the CF transmission?
It's the ZF, I believe, right, Rob?
Yes, it is.
The CF? Yeah, for the CF transmission, it's a 6-speed manual. Our new TopTech MTF 5175W is the correct oil that meets the required spec. So that's the correct choice for this transmission.
Okay, great. Appreciate that, Stefan. So, Rob, that would be our recommendation on that for that transmission for sure.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
We got everybody on the Zoom, even the Germans that make the stuff. It's really nice to be looked after by a company like Liqui Moly.
Well, I was finally able to wrap up the transmission cooler. I basically made a mount to hang a small set trap oil cooler from the bottom of the transmission. It was a bit of a challenge because there really aren't any mounting points on the bottom of the transmission, so I actually had to make them. But once I did that and I made a mounting plate, it was a matter of simply making the AN lines between the cooler and the factory oil cooler outlet and inlet on the transmission. We're going to use the stock transmission cooler pump on the transmission. It will be controlled by the Motec, basically just like factory. I think that's a pretty neat thing that we're doing. It's certainly not the easiest way. The easier way would be to eliminate the oil cooler or use a transmission from, say, the E60 M5 that doesn't have the oil cooler. But we wanted to do things totally right. We want to be able to cool the transmission oil because these transmissions do tend to run pretty hot. I think the end result is going to work out really well. With the Motec engine management, we needed to have a way to add knock sensors to this engine. It's almost like a microphone that basically just gives a signal to the engine computer whenever there's extra noise. Knock is a bad thing, so you want to eliminate that. The factory motor does not have any knock sensors. It uses ionic sensing through the spark plugs. There are no mounting provisions on the S65 engine for knock sensors. We had to design basically a bracket that would allow us to mount them. And these are actually a 3D printed stainless steel part. Got those installed. They actually fit really nicely. It's again, super tight spacing, but it worked out really well, and I was able to route the harness out of the way, and should work out really well. So I got the Cerakoted headers installed and installed the engine in the car, hopefully for the last time.
When we crank this thing over and start this up, that's the moment, right? That's the moment when it can be satisfying, or it can also be like, oh my God, what just happened? So it's, you know, I'm biting my nails a little bit. I'm cautiously optimistic that we're gonna get it right the first time. I mean, there's so many things that had to go into this project. But once the engine fires up, it's not over.